The universe is so interesting. I actually already recorded this episode 7 called Journal Prompts for Heavy Days, and it's all about grief, burnout, and stress. But for some reason, the recording was too low. So I had to make the decision to record it again. And today, as I sit down to record this episode for the second time, I am having one of the most hectic mornings I've had in a long time. A lot of people don't know that my dad lives with me, and he's getting older, and it is taking a lot more effort than it used to make sure that I show up for him and what he needs. And I think the reason I had to record this episode again is because I myself am not taking my own medicine. So just know that even people who are here to help you are often at times going through their own storms in life. Know that I'm really here with you as we go through today's episode. I am feeling this too. I want to welcome you back to our How to Dream bonus series. Today is for the heavy days, mornings like the morning I'm having today, the days where we're not feeling like we're moving full speed ahead and we're not feeling like we want to set goals or that we're ready to crush the week that we're in. Today, we're just talking about days where your body feels tired and your heart feels worn out, and everything around you just feels like too much. I feel that today. I'm talking about days that are filled with grief or burnout or just very stressful. Days when you're trying to keep going, but you don't feel like yourself. In fact, you can't even see tomorrow. And this is important for you to hear, that this episode is not about fixing you. It's not about fixing what we are going through in the present moment. It's about helping us breathe so that we can put language to what we are carrying. What we're carrying doesn't just keep swelling up in silence. Grief and stress are painful, and we try to just push through. But sometimes, when we try not to think about the grief or the stress that we feel, what we do is allow that grief and stress to get bigger. It actually grows inside of us. This is why we end up having outbursts and explosions, because we have not addressed the grief and the stress that we know lives inside of us. So the burnout gets worse. This episode will help you gently deal. Well, should I say this episode will help me gently deal with what we're carrying so it does not become overwhelming and consume us. Heavy days feel heavier when we try to carry them all alone in our head, because your mind starts doing what minds do. It starts replaying and worrying, judging, bracing, trying to figure everything out and just trying to be strong. But on heavy days, we don't always need figuring out. Sometimes we need a safe place for the weight we are carrying to land, a place for it to sit, a place for the heaviness to go. And journaling gives that heaviness that we carry inside of us a place to go. This is why I talk about journaling so much. I really believe in it. Once you journal and once those feelings are on a page, you can relate to it differently. You can witness it, you can acknowledge it instead of feeling like we are being swallowed up by all of it. So, before we write today, I want to give you permission to do something. You don't have to journal your way into a good mood. That's not what journaling is about. I just want to give you permission to be honest with yourself. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to grieve. It's a part of life. We live in a culture that accepts grieving for about 3 days and then we expect you to move on. But that's not the reality of grief. Here with me, you are allowed to admit that you are overwhelmed. This is what care feels like. We are here in this space learning how to take care of ourselves the right way, the proper way. So grab your journal and let's take one slow breath in and let it out. I want you to write this at the top of a new page. Heavy day support. Now, you can write these prompts that I'm going to give you in bullet points or in short sentences, just whatever feels natural for you. But I want you to write it on a new page of paper that says heavy day support. Prompt one. Today feels heavy because, and I want you to fill that in. Don't filter it. Just name what comes. Don't try to make it pretty. Just write down what comes to mind when you say that sentence. Today feels heavy because. And I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to write what comes to mind. Prompt two. What I am carrying is. And list what comes to mind, even if it feels messy. Get in touch with what you are carrying. What is your heart telling you? What is your mind telling you? What I'm carrying is. Prompt three. What I wish someone understood about me right now is. This one's powerful. Say it on the page. What I wish someone understood about me right now is. And I'll just be brutally honest with you and share with you that when all of this stuff was going on with my dad this morning, I just kept thinking, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. And I felt so selfish. How can I not have time for my dad who lives with me? But this was a very honest and real feeling. And it's because we are auto programmed to do so many things in our life. I have a calendar and it's packed with stuff to do. And so when I was asked to do things for my dad this morning, I had to slow down and remind myself that I absolutely have the right to put my family first. And that's what I wish someone understood about me right now is that I have the right to prioritize whatever I want to in my life. Okay, let's do prompt four. What I need today is, and this is not what you need forever, this is what you need today. What I need today is, and some examples of what you can write here is a nap, or you need softness. Maybe you just need someone to see you, to hear you. You need time with a friend who is comforting and understanding. Maybe you need reassurance or a break from everyone's demands. Maybe you need a shower or food or just some quiet time. Write that down. What I need today is. And our fifth prompt is one kind thing I can do for myself today is. One kind thing I can do for myself today is, and again, I'll share with you what I already decided to do for myself. I am going to do some self compassion exercises because I can be very hard on myself. That's one reason why I love doing this podcast because I know there are more me's out there who have big dreams and don't really know how to apply the brakes when needed. So, one kind thing I am going to do for myself today is I'm going to be very mindful about how I am talking to myself, and I'm going to work on some self compassion exercises in my journal that remind me not to beat myself up for feeling human, but keep these small and keep them real. The goal is relief. That's what the goal for this prompt is relief, not productivity. So it's not going to be things like, I need more time in the day to serve more people. These are going to be practical things that you can actually do, like go to bed a little early or allow myself 5 minutes of complete silence or drink the water I'm supposed to or take a walk around the block. Cancel something. How often do we allow ourselves to cancel an obligation that we have? It is okay to cancel sometimes. Or we can ask someone for help to take something off of our plate. And here's a really simple thing that you probably don't think makes a big difference, and it does. Put your phone down for an hour. Don't answer any texts. Don't listen to any voicemails. Don't scroll on social media. Allow yourself a break from that constant pressure that we carry in our pocket called the phone. The sixth prompt I want you to work on is, if I could speak to myself with compassion, I would say, if I could speak to myself with compassion, I would say, and I think I took such a deep breath there because I really do need to speak to myself with more compassion. I need to be intentional about that. I am human. I am allowed to cry. I am allowed a break. What would you write there? If I could speak to myself with more compassion, I would say, okay, let's take another deep breath in and let it all the way out. So, we're going to take these journal prompts that we just did and we're going to make them practical. We're going to turn this into a 24-hour plan, something that you can do today to address the grief, the stress, and the burnout that you are feeling today. We're going to make this practical and write one simple line. In the next 24 hours, I will support myself by. And then I want you to write one thing small enough that you will actually do it, but big enough to make a difference. A small thing like going to bed a little bit earlier, but that makes a big difference. A small thing like putting your phone out of your reach for an hour, but it makes a big difference. In the next 24 hours, I will support myself by. And if you can do this, please add this to that sentence as well. And then add this sentence, and I will ask for help with, because these heavy days were not meant to be carried alone. I will ask for help with, and then fill in that blank. What are you going to ask someone to help you with? Thank you for being here for me today. I hope that this short bonus session on how to help us learn to better cope with grief, burnout, and stress has been helpful to you. If you're having a heavy day, I want you to save this episode so you can come back to it whenever you need it. And if you know someone else who's been carrying a lot, send this episode to them. They need it. And I can't wait to be back with you next week with our next bonus episode. I'll see you soon.